After having visited the Grand Canyon several times, I read that there's another canyon on this planet, and that's River Canyon in southern part of Namibia, southwest Africa, and it's supposed to be the second largest in the world. And this is an expedition I did there by a little non-four-wheel drive car, and it's not that easy to get around there. You drive for hundreds and hundreds of miles, and here's me just telling something in German, and after that
Der Süden hier Südwestafrikas oder Namibias ist früher von Deutschen besiedelt worden. Dieser wunderbare Ort dort hinten heißt zum Beispiel Grünau, von Grün allerdings nicht die Spur. Es gibt ja auch noch andere Orte, die deutsche Namen haben, zum Beispiel Lüderitzbucht, da werden wir wahrscheinlich nicht hinkommen. Wir fahren jetzt gleich weiter zum River Canyon.
What I was saying here, that this little village is called Grünau, which means sort of green village, but there's not that much green there. And it's really hard life, and as you might know, it has been a German colony with all the negative implications colonialism brought, and today we have to think about how to manage our relationship with that sort of history. You can read about that, and you should, but the landscape itself is very harsh and very deserty, and this is the River Canyon, as you see. It's not touristic at all. There's no scenic spots where people have parking lots or something like that. It's just like the Grand Canyon for yourself, yes. And that's what I really like. But if you get lost there, or if the car crashes on one of these macadam roads, where you have to drive 80 kilometers speed to not get into these ripples there, to fly over it, then you might understand that this is, for beginners or travelers, if you go alone, not that easy to get around. But the canyon itself is really beautiful, but it can be 50 degrees in summer, I think so southern or on the southern hemisphere. But once in a while you see these bob trees in the middle of nowhere, and it's always astonishing how the flora manages to stay alive there. These are these roads, and you go for hours and hours and hours. With a flat tire I would have been lost maybe for days before somebody else comes. South of the canyon there is a little oasis. That's a campsite and really convenient. They have hot springs there. You can take a bath, which is really nice, but not in hot springs when it's 40 degrees. But all in all, it's very meditative to get around there. There might be people who don't like this sort of scenery. I really love it because it's the truth. It's very honest, this whole landscape, and the colors are changing over the day. And it has its outer world charm. You look at this old lorry standing around there. It's like the wild, wild west, but in this case, wild, wild south, yes. Namibia also has different places like Etosha in the north, or the Namib Desert with this Sossusvlei wonderful dunes. So it's quite diverse, but here in the south it's like that. And I must say I love it. I also love the island Lanzarote with this volcanism, and things don't have to be lush and green. And in the middle of nowhere you have these farms. Somewhere I think one sheep needs about 45 hectares to make a living there. So you can imagine how big these farms are, or ranch. And this is typical, and in the middle of nowhere they have this little signs, another 40 or I don't know miles to the next place where somebody lives or makes a living. It's really hard living there. And here you see it's like looking on Mars, yes. So, okay, maybe you have a little glimpse of what it is. You might Google about Southwest Africa, German colonialism, don't leave that out, but also Google about Namibia today. It's really a country worth to visit, and you can start in the south with River Canyon.